Hi, Paul here. Let's talk about this soul business because it's just so you understand, this is not a new service of mine. It's not trying to say, this has been a part of everything I've always done for every client all the time, although I've never really called it that. But if you want to know why I picked up on this, it was from ChatGPT. There's a story behind that, but that's not for this video. Why does soul matter? And can you define it? Can it be put on a creative brief? Yes, and probably not. Soul is something. If you think of soul music, what does it have? A sweetness, a heart? And what is soulless? If a person is soulless, well, maybe that means the person doesn't care, doesn't have love for the human race, doesn't have empathy, doesn't have compassion. R&B comes from the blues, and the blues means you've been through something that's hard, and you state the problem, you restate it, and then the turnaround, you have a bit of resonance, a bit of foundational understanding, acceptance with a bit of a that's almost like a moral at the end. And soul in a business is something you either feel or you don't. And you know when it's not there. A soulless company smells like revenue. A soulful company puts his arms around the world or its world. IKEA shows soul often. And what is that? Think, what is IKEA? Flat pack furniture. That is not Swedish design, it's cheap design made by Swedes with Swedish names. And that sense that they know when you buy it, you get out your hex key and over a bottle of wine or a couple of beers or whatever, and you put it together, and you put it on the wall or you put it in your room, you think, wow, that's so elegantly simple, almost Spartan simple, inexpensive, I put it together. They know that. Wow, they have a feeling and an empathy and understanding, a connection of what that experience is like. Guinness, in most of the things they do, has a sense of something peculiar and Irish in it. Now, Irish, if you know Irish people, a lot of them do have that sort of like glint in their eye that's seeing through you and through space and time. And what is that? It's a connection. Soul is a connection. It's an understanding of somebody else all together with a, right? Something, you know? And soul music doesn't have just one tempo or beat. I don't mean that. But you know soul music when you hear it, you feel like it's real. It's real, it's universal, it's true, and it's human. So in the business, do you put must have soul into the creative brief? Well, if you must, but it's an understanding. As a team, you feel the need to be expressing something that can go from the brand to the culture, to management, to employees, to the vendors, and radiates out a soul. When your customers resonate with it and they smile when they see your brand or they see employees in their t-shirt or they see the billboard, it's like, yeah, I get it. We have an understanding. You've made an understanding connection with me in my mind, in my heart, of my soul. And the soul means something eternal, which is something slightly beyond human. It's like when we wonder about where we came from, what's between the stars, and what does life really mean? Well, we bring that knowing down into our daily life. When we look at the world with a smile, we look at a stranger, and we can't wait to invite him in for a beer or a glass of wine. This is kind of around the idea of soul, but soul just means something that people have to feel. And sometimes an idea can be produced, and it's a good idea, but it has no soul. The soul may be a human nuance, but it's an overall community sharing feel, which is why big brands that are soulless are having a hard time right now. If your brand is in litigation, if your brand is just pushing data and AI, if your brand just smells like revenue and it's transactional and no longer transformational, they are lacking soul. Soul for a big company acknowledges what people are going through, what the life is like in the world right now, the fears, the anxiety, and puts an arm around them. Invites them to share, to feel part of something. All of us that struggle, all of us that are feeling this, all of us that aspire, See, the sense of community, emotional community, stirs the soul. And it stirs the soul. So soul is something, if you feel it in yourself, get it out there in the work. If you think you want it for your company, for your culture, and you don't have it, call me. If your brand is realizing you're starting to smell like revenue and is not really being as human as it really could be, talk to me. This is easy for me. See, I'm trying to put it into words, but it's something I know and I feel. Goodwill, community, whether it's in a city or the world, empathy, compassion, emotion, and celebratory. Under the wire. Something that just pulses and you feel this is Guinness's world, Guinness's mindset, Guinness's heart, IKEA, their world, that experience, this life, this reality. We're in this together. Remember, service is better than revenue. If you serve well, the revenue will come. And if you serve with soul, you can do it. If you need to get into this, watch the movie The Commitments. Alan Parker, fantastic film, a fable, of a startup band in Dublin that's trying to bring soul to the working class. You'll understand what I'm talking about. Feel it and feel it. When you think of like Try a Little Tenderness, and when that starts to hit and the beat comes and it ascends, you feel your spirit start to soar, you're going up and you feel, yes, this is love, this is what it means to be a man or whatever. This is what soul is. Watch that movie and let me know.